What is going on, guys? In this video we are going to answer the question if Shang Chi is a top 5 Marvel movie. So in order to do that, I'm gonna let y'all know my thoughts on the film as an Asian man, but I'm pretty whitewashed. I know I'm a disgrace. You don't got to remind me, you know, my parents say it to me every day. But nonetheless, yes, I'm an Asian dude with, and I bet y'all didn't know this, with a martial arts background. If y'all didn't know, I actually took taekwondo classes when I was a little kid. I'm probably gonna have to dig deep in the archives to find some footage of me. So yeah, good luck to the edited version of me. But it's also worth noting that I think most Marvel movies are kind of alright. There's only probably a few select ones that are actually spectacular. But yeah, let's just start off with my thoughts on Shang-Chi. Here are 5 things I liked about the movie. Okay, first up, we got a good villain. Like I said, most Marvel movies, they're just not that amazing. Almost every Marvel movie follows the same exact formula. And one of the unfortunate effects of being a Marvel movie is having a weak ass villain, forgettable as fuck. But thank goodness this movie did not have a forgettable, lame ass villain. Okay, yeah, to be fair, again, many Marvel origin stories, the main villain's usually just the main character, but like an evil version of himself. But this one hits different. This one is about family. This is Shang-Chi's father. This guy's a big fucking deal. This guy has actual influence on Marvel history. Not to mention he's a cold-blooded killer, and some of that does rub off on Shang-Chi, and I absolutely love that. Wenwu is a relatable villain. He had a good heart. He thought he could leave his past, but his past eventually caught up to him. But yeah, simply put, this guy's not lame. He's not forgettable. Wenwu is actually menacing, but still relatable, and he's just a badass motherfucker. And number 2, the good supporting cast. I fucking love Awkwafina, Shang-Chi's sister, and Shang-Chi's mother. But yeah, my whitewash stats might trigger some people on these pronunciations, so I apologize in advance. But yeah, Xiaoling is a badass girl boss at his finest, and I'm super excited for her character after that end credit scene. Shang-Chi's mother, they built her up so beautifully. She was like the one who held the family together. She's the person her kids look up to, and she's probably like the best fighter in the movie. So yeah, she's a perfect role model mentally and physically. But yeah, Awkwafina as Katie was really funny and really relatable. She's like the perfect representation of second generation Asians living in America and being a disgrace to our parents. Oh yeah, not to mention fucking Ronnie Chang is in it too. He was awesome. Okay, that's enough about the side characters. But anyways, the third thing I like about the movie is that it doesn't interrupt seriousness with comedy. Okay, it does do it sometimes, but it's not a huge offender of this. Unlike other Marvel movies, Guardians. When there's a serious scene, okay, I'm not gonna spoil the movie, but if something tragic happens, keep it tragic. You keep the seriousness serious. You don't randomly cut away to a fucking dude trying to make a dick joke or something in the middle of a serious fight or serious scene. Guardians. You keep the tone appropriate for each scene. Again, this movie's not totally serious. When it comes time to be serious, the movie is serious. The funny parts are funny. I laughed for most of the jokes. Most of the jokes were not misses. The comedy is good in this movie, and the serious stuff is pretty good as well. I'll elaborate more on the serious stuff later on. All right, now the fourth thing I liked about this movie is that the plot matters. This is not some stupid side quest. This plot is about family, dude. This plot matters. It just feels like there's a lot at stake here. They do a really good job with the flashbacks in this movie, and also they do a really good job with the present day storyline. But yeah, both of them are great, and both of them just feel like they matter. There's stakes involved, and it does help that there's a good supporting cast along the way and a good villain. And the fifth thing I like about Shang-Chi is that they do Asians right all the way from the beginning, where you have, you know, the grandma saying, hey, when are y'all getting married and all that, and all the way to the end where you visit the beautiful world of Ta Lo. You can definitely tell Asians worked on this movie, not just a non-Asian try to pretend like they know about Asian culture. All the way from the set pieces to the costumes to the writing, this movie does Asians justice. We finally have a mainstream Asian character, and he's done right. Okay, so let's move on to the stuff I didn't like about this movie. I didn't hate on too much things about this movie, but one of the things I didn't like about this movie, and it's a problem with other Marvel movies, is that there's a big CGI fight at the end. I mean, it's not too bad. It just seems like Marvel kind of gets carried away with like all the mystical stuff. I feel like the big CGI fight at the end, it could have been better if like the dragons somehow turn his father to like a mega human slash dragon sort of thing. But yeah, maybe if the big final fight felt a little more personal, then maybe that would have been better. I mean, he does fight his father, but it doesn't stop there. after his father. So they maybe could have done like a false boss fight with his father, and then the real boss fight could have been like him morphing with the dragon, something. I don't know. If the big final fight just felt a little more, you know, personal, maybe that would have been better. And the other thing is just this movie, it could have been more serious. Again, it's a problem with all Marvel movies. Like all Marvel movies just feel like they follow the same formula. You know, they gotta keep it safe. They all look the same. They're kind of all structured the same. What could have taken this movie to the next level was if it wasn't a Marvel movie. Like if there was a serious scene, they could have went more serious. You know, this movie fully embraced Asian culture, but if they went even more Asian, more stylistic, I feel like this would have taken this movie to the next level. Like for example, one of the scenes they probably should have showed was, okay, this might be a spoiler alert ahead. Okay, one of the scenes they should have showed was Shang Chi, you know, murdering the person who murdered his mother. Obviously, you don't got to be rated R and actually show blood or anything. Just show him, like, you know, stabbing somebody off screen or something, and show the dude like gasping for air or something like that. If they did include the scene of him murdering his mother's murderer, that would have legitimized Shang-Chi as, hey, this guy does have a dark side to him, so hopefully he doesn't, you know, succumb to that dark side. But they didn't show it. He just says that he did it, so I guess we just gotta follow along and believe that he actually did it. But yeah, overall, the stuff I didn't like about the movie, it was not that big a deal. Overall, this is a great movie. But is it a top 5 Marvel movie? In order to answer that, I'm gonna give you all my top 4 Marvel movies. Again, this is just my opinion. I'm usually a Marvel hater, or at least like a Marvel. I'm not a super big biased Marvel guy. That I'm trying to say. Okay, number 1 for me, it's got to be Endgame. I rewatched it recently, and it's great. It's got to be like one of the funniest Marvel movies. It just feels so freaking epic. So much stakes going on. So many characters. I think it's number 1 in my book. And number 2, Infinity War, of course. Thanos has got to be the greatest Marvel villain ever. And this movie just didn't feel like your typical Marvel movie. You actually feel like the heroes could actually lose this time. And they do actually lose. At number 3, I'm gonna give it to Civil War. I love this movie, but I might have to rewatch it. It's been a while since I've seen it. But man, I loved it. I seen it in theaters. It's just amazing having so much superheroes and seeing these heroes duel it out with each other. It's just a really fun and epic movie. Number 4, I'm gonna give it to Thor Ragnarok. This is probably the funniest Marvel movie. Korg is probably the funniest side character in all of Marvel. It just feels like a wildly entertaining ride from start to finish. At number 5, I don't know. This one is tough. Number 5, I could probably give it to Black Panther, or Shang-Chi right here, or Winter Soldier, or the first Avengers. I might have to rewatch those. But yeah, this is where I think Shang-Chi could fit in. Yeah, this movie has its similarities to Black Panther. You're introduced to an entirely new world. You have a really strong set of side characters, and also a big CGI fuckfest at the end. But I would say that the CGI fight on Shang-Chi, I think I enjoyed that one more than the dark CGI fight from Black Panther. So I think Shang-Chi has a slight edge in that aspect. So based on that, maybe that puts it over Black Panther a little bit. So yeah, agree or disagree, I personally do think that Shang-Chi, it's a top 5 Marvel movie, but I will put it at number 4, number 5. Many Marvel movies just feel like they're kind of the same thing. They just play it safe, and they usually just have a forgettable plot and forgettable characters. But Shang-Chi doesn't have that, so that automatically puts it above all the other Marvel movies for me. But let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with my top 5? If not, what's your top 5 Marvel movies, and where would you place Shang-Chi amongst all the other MCU movies? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.
28 in it truck.